seeing right now at Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, so in terms of the
はい、
trajectory, you
ご
can
主
see
人
there
様
it
お
is
はよ
sort
うご
of
ざい
an
ます。
east
ななみでござい
southeasterly
ます。
direction. That is the area of where it will
今
be
日はです
heading.
ね、こ
And
れ
then, of course, in that area is
画面映
the
ってますね。
drone ship, the landing platform vessel
手
1,
が
also known
手
as
がバタつい
Jacqueline,
てるけ
named
れ
after
ど、
the mother of Jeff
こ
Bezos.
れ
There is that vehicle you
ニ
see
ュ
there.
ーグ
The landing area is
レン
about the same
打ち
size
上げ
as
だ
the one
よ。
that SpaceX uses for its
で、
Falcon
本当
9s.
は
Of course, though, it
生
has those
放送で
larger
やる気満
supports
々だ
on
ったん
each
ですけ
side
ど、
of it.
まあ会
The
社員なの
landing
で、
also has 6 landing legs
本
as
当
opposed to the
は
4
ちょっ
that we're
と
used to seeing for
私が
SpaceX.
頑張
It
って
did not
た
successfully land on
打
that
ち上げ
first
日はですね、
attempt,
昨日なんで
but
すけ
it
ど、
looks like we will hopefully
延期
get
されて
that
しまったんで、
for the
太陽活
second
動で
landing
ね。
attempt today. Fingers crossed. That's about
で、そ
600
の前
kilometers
は、
downrange. And then, of course,
まあ
it will
天候だっ
continue
たり、
onward into its planned
船
orbit,
が進
all
路上に入ってき
things
ちゃったり、
if all things go well.
で、打
In
ち上げ
terms
延
of
期
the
になり
sea
まし
state,
た。
there was some
で、それ
original
ね、
concerns for earlier
2
launch
日も
dates, but today
私
they've
頑張
been
ったん
nice
だ
and
けど、
calm. Everything
ダメで
seems
したよ。
okay with that. In terms of actual weather,
という
last
わ
we
け
saw
で、
was greater than 95%
リア
chance
ルタイム
of
じゃないで
favorable
す
weather.
が、
But you see their primary
リアル
concerns,
タイムのつも
none
りで、
whatsoever. Solar activity
やります。
was one of the
打ち上
issues
げ
that delayed an
行きま
attempt
し
that
ょ
was
う。
going to try yesterday.
今、
That has calmed down. That was at high.
こ
Now
こ
it is
ね、
down to
打ち上
moderate.
げまであ
And
と
obviously within
20分ちょっ
acceptable
と。
risks if they are continuing the countdown at this point with 22 minutes and 22 seconds to go.
これから、
Nice
今、天気
symmetrical
の話
numbers
してまし
there.
たね。
And this is a live view at the weather
ウェブサ
radar.
イト
You
は
can
いつ
see
も
kind
通
of that
り
ground moisture, which is really
NASA スペー
nothing
ス
of
フライトさ
concern.
んです。
And it's crystal clear. I mean, there's no storms, there's no clouds, there is
打ち上げ場所
nothing
は今
at
回、
all which can
NASA
get in the way at this point.
フロ
Yeah,
リ
you
ダ
can
の
see here,
NASA
Jerry
で
is
す。
literally pointing the drone up right
あ、ちょう
now.
ど今、
There's some high
見え
altitude
てます
clouds
ね。
far off
打
in the
ち上げ、
distance, but over the launch pad, it is crystal clear.
あー、ローチパッ
Blue
ド、
skies. I mean, it
ブルース
like
カイズ。
you just think that was like a gradient generated in Photoshop or
あ、こ
something.
れね、
It's so crystal clear. It's honestly couldn't
ベ
get
ガ
better
さん
than
の
this in terms of the
打
weather.
ち上げ場所
And
で
we
す
can
よ。
see here,
あ、
zooming
ア
back
ップにな
in
った。
to New Glenn, which is of course vertical at Launch Complex
エスカ
36
ペイド
at
ミッ
the
シ
Cape
ョ
Canaveral
ン。
Space Force Station in
イ
Florida.
エーイ。
And we are counting down for the launch of New Glenn 2. Okay,
ニュ
I
ー
think
グ
we
レン、
can
打ち上げるロ
get
ケッ
back
ト
to
は
business here because we are
ニューグレンっ
approaching
ていう名
a
前で
very
すよ。
critical moment, Sawyer, because
打ち上げる場
we
所
have
はフロ
blasted
リダ
through
の
the T-minus
打ち上
13
げ
minutes
発射
weather
場、
check.
NASA の
Next up at T-minus
打ち上げ発射
17
場、
minutes will be the
LC36
go,
番。
no-go poll. And thankfully, unlike SpaceX, Blue Origin, they do a verbal go, no-go poll.
じゃあいろいろ言ってますけど。
Yes, we are expecting to hear that where they will go through all of the different
たたたた
systems
た
on the rocket, all the different teams. They will check in with the
ちょっと前にあっ
range,
た
they
ん
will
です
check in
が、
with weather, and of course they will
軽く
check in with the partner in this case,
ロ
which
ケ
is
ットの
NASA, to
詳
make sure
細、
they're all good to go as well.
軽く
And if
詳
everything
細
does, then
どっち
we will work our way down
というわ
towards
け
entering
で、
the terminal part of the count. So that is the mission
今回
critical
打ち上
part
げ
at
るロ
about
ケ
T
ット
minus 4
は
minutes.
ニューグレン。
If all goes well,
こ
then the
れ、
vehicle will switch to its
これ、こ
internal
の子、
power 90 seconds before launch.
この
Tank
子です。
pressurization, of
見
course,
え
will
るか
begin a
な？
minute before that. And then autopilot will be enabled at T minus 30 seconds. So getting the steering and everything ready to go.
はい、規
The
模
water
的
deluge
大き
systems
さ
will
的
also
に
turn on
は、
30 seconds before launch,
ファル
unleashing
コン
about
9
a
より全然
million
大きいです。
gallons of water before
ファル
engine
コン9
ignition
と比べるものにならないぐらい大きい
5.6 seconds
です。
before
ファルコン9
hopeful
の直径
liftoff.
が3.7メ
Indeed, we
3.7
are
メートル
now
ぐらいね。
nearly, exactly. If I
で、
wait
もう、
long enough,
ニ
I
ュ
can
ーグレ
time
ンは
it
7メー
with
トルもあ
the
りま
double
す。
zero
全然大
at
きい
the
です。
end. There we go.
めちゃくちゃ大きいで
L
す。
minus
ライバ
20
ルは、
minutes and counting
ファルコンヘ
to
ビーになり
New
ます
Glenn
ね。
2.
こっ
It
ち。
is getting very, very real
それから規模、
indeed.
大
And
き
we
さ
will
から言
stand
った
by
ら、
for that go, no go
LSL
poll,
が
which
ライ
should
バ
be
ルですけど
coming
も、
from Blue Origin
LSL 大きいですよ
any
ね。
minute now, quite literally. So
や
in
っ
the
ぱり、
meantime, I think we can check in
サ
very
ターン
briefly
5
with the
と比べると、
WB-57, which is still
まあ一
circling
番
over the
しっ
landing
くり、
zone out northeast of the
サタ
Bahamas.
ーン5
Live
の方
tracking,
が
courtesy of Flight Radar 24,
いいラ
which
イ
we
バル
can
です
see there.
ね。
So, fingers crossed, that gets some beautiful
まあ
views
こん
of the
な
launch.
大
Looks
き
like
さ
it's in a bit of a
の
racetrack pattern right
感
now.
なんですよ。
Whether we'll
た
see
だ、
these views, I don't know,
低軌
but
道上に乗せられ
that's something we'll
る
just have to wait and see.
ペイロードの大きさが、まあ、なんていうか、実はファルコンヘビーの方が上、ファル
And
コンヘビーの
whilst
方
we
が
have the opportunity
たくさんの
to,
も
we
のを
have just gotten a
低軌道
huge
上に乗っけるこ
amount
とが
of
で
support
き
in
ます。
chat. We have gotten a
多分これは70トンほどいけますね。
super chat
じ
from
ゃあ今回打ち上
Chris.
げるニューグレンは45トン
$500 does not go
ことで。
unnoticed. That is And he just says he loved the chat. I mean, literally could have put anything in the message there, but seriously, thank you so much
ファルコンヘビがどれだけ優れてるか
I can't do it how Jack did it, but seriously, we could not do this stuff without you guys. Thank you so much for all your support.
まあ、いいライバルなの
I
か
don't know
な
how
っ
to
て
thank you
思い
enough.
ま
There
す
is nothing we can do to thank you enough for that sizable amount of support because, yeah,
ペイラウンド
literally
が30本なん
nothing I
で
can say can do support
まあ
like
ライ
that
バルで
justice.
すよ
But
ね
thank you so much for your support, Chris. That is
という感じの
unbelievable.
サイズ感
Literally
になります
unbelievable, and it's support like that that makes this stuff happen. So thank you so much.
これからで
Seriously,
す
thank you
ね
so much.
今回私
We've
も
also been getting some more store
一番
messages
注目してるの
because, of
が
course, we just released the brand new
これ
Christmas sweaters, the two new
着
designs.
陸
Margaret has gotten it on the
一
store.
段目が
Patrick saying
ま
fingers
あ回収
crossed
さ
the
れ
new
ることに
Glen
なるんです
2 has
が
been to the store.
ドローン
Christopher
戦で
says, I
回
look
収
forward
と
to
い
all your
う
streams.
まあファルコン9と同じで
Andrew
す
saying
ね
thank you for all
こ
of
の
this
方式を
coverage.
利
Been
用
a
してい
fan for
ま
over
す
10 years now. That's quite a long
た
time.
だ、まあ、
Jared
大
has
きさ
been
が
to
ね
the store saying
めちゃく
thank
ちゃ
you
大
for
き
the
いの
amazing
で
coverage.
さっき
I
見
haven't been to the
た
store, but
通
somebody else
り
named Ryan has been to the
こ
store
れ
and
を
has
回
gotten
収す
the
るの
Crew
と
Launch Christmas
これを
Dragon
回収するの
sweater
と
saying
で
love the commentary, keep up the work.
規模が
Thank
全
you
然
so
違う
much. Teresa,
ま
also
あこれ
thank
が
you to you.
成功すれ
And
ば、まあ、もう
Owen
ニュアンス
saying
出ちゃって
finally
ますけ
something
ど、
that might fit. Thank you so much for your support
ま
there
あ、こ
as
れを
well.
回収すれば
Anyways, we are approaching
どれだけすごいことか
17 minutes to
という
go. So
まあ、そう
I
い
am going to
う
halt
証
any
明になります
questions,
よ。
any comments,
とても
any
注目の
support
一点が
because we have that
こ
go
れ
no
です
go
ね
poll
一
coming
段目
up
が
very, very
回収でき
shortly.
ること
And I, of course, want
です
Blue Origin to interrupt me with that if we get it. So I'm going to keep kind of just awkwardly circling here in terms of commentary until
じゃ
I
あじゃ
hear
あじゃあ
something
とりあえずそん
from
な
Blue
感じ
Origin
で
Mission Control. But here we go, approaching
OSM.
17 minutes to go.
OSM
Here we
is
go.
RC. RC is go. ESR.
はいこれが
Yes, sir, go.
ニューグレン
AC.
でこの脇にくっついてるのが
Recovery.
このニューグレンって横倒しでこの近くまで来てよっこらしょって持ち上げるんですよ。
BMD.
その持ち上げるやつが
BMD is go.
これなります。
GC, LC1, LC2.
それから
Initiate
サインに
final
ついてる
configurations
こ
for
の
terminal count.
塔
Report
は
when ready for pre-terminal count gate checks.
まあ今ではまあ飛来心ですね。飛来心として利用してます。
LC1 copy.
私途中まで燃料入れるのかなって
Line
Trying to
ready.
judge,
思ってたんですけどなんか燃料の
trying to judge
入れ
if
てな
that's
いで
the
すよ
end,
ね。
but that at least sounded positive.
あ今ジャクリンの話してますね。
All right, you heard it there.
回収ドローン名
Yes, we
前
did.
Got
So that is the
Jacqueline
end of that go no go
Dinskedomo.
poll. Sawyer, everything's sounding pretty good.
Yeah,
Yes,
didn't
yes,
hear
yes,
anything
yes.
otherwise. Sounds like they are go for launch again. They have
これね
other gate checks, as
こ
they
れね
mentioned
これ
before
こ
they
れ
get into the terminal
ジャ
count,
クリン
just
って
to
言い
make
ます
sure
こ
everything
れこ
is
れ
good and stays good.
はい
But if
これは
so,
ね
that
ベゾ
terminal
ス
count
のお
begins
母
at
様
T
のお
minus
名前なんで
4
すね。
minutes, and that's really
なんか
the
やっぱ
meat of the
り
countdown. That's when
母は偉
things
大
get
だなっ
into
て
the
なんか思っちゃい
critical
ます。
phases. A lot of onboard vehicle computers start taking over the count to that point. Again, as mentioned, tanks pressurized, power switches to internal, the navigation autopilot is enabled, all that before launch.
Yeah, I love that they call it autopilot, even though it's like nothing like how an autopilot in an aircraft works. But still, very I like that. Just makes it a little bit more relatable.
Yep, and it makes it understandable too.
Yes, exactly. We love things like that. Okay, so we are 15 minutes until launch of New Glen 2. New Glen, as it stands, is go to proceed. Alex, I believe we have you back with us. We'll see if it works. If you would like to take us through some of the things we will be seeing after
なんか興奮
liftoff,
してるところ
because
です
this
ね。
overall mission
本当
is
は
actually
この打ち上
nearly
げは
2 hours long.
24時間以上
Yeah,
前
well,
だったんですけども
the main
と
mission at the
私
very least should
は
end
まあ歌手行かな
rather
くてはいけなかった
quickly
ですからね。
because once the second
本当はやり
stage
たかった
reaches a
生で
preliminary
生放
low
送したかっ
orbit,
た。
then it's going to do a relight around T plus
天
25
候は
minutes,
90点。
which will last for about
全然いい。
1 minute and 44 seconds, and that'll put the two escapade spacecraft out there on their transfer orbit to the Lagrange point 2.
それ
The
か
two
ら
spacecraft will separate around T plus 33
今回
minutes.
の
First will be
ペイロードを
the blue spacecraft
Escapade
at T
を
plus 33 minutes and 18 seconds, and 30 seconds later.
There's one person
で
I
エスカペイ
want
ド
to be
は
interrupted by on this
ブ
stream.
ルーと
It's
ゴ
not
ールド
Sawyer, it's not Alex, it's Blue Origin
双子
Mission
の
Control. That's the only
衛
person
星
I
で
will
す。
be I will accept
2
being
つの
interrupted by
全く同じ
throughout
衛
today's
星
stream.
を
So fingers
火
crossed we
星
get some
送り込む。
more
そう
core
いう計画
information
です
from them
よ。
shortly. Deep breaths,
で、
everybody,
なん
because
で、
we are
まあ、火
about
星
to
に向
see,
かう
like
2機
genuinely,
の衛星
pinch
の
yourself
絵が
moment. We are
も
about
う
to see the
ト
second
ップ
flight
に書いてあり
of
ま
the
す。
biggest commercial rocket to launch from Cape
で、まず
Canaveral,
は、
at least until
これ
Starship
は
arrives
ニュー
next
グレン
year.
に乗っけて、
Oh, deep breaths, because
ま
this
ず
is
気球
the birds seem
太陽
excited at
間
least.
の
Maybe Gage is in the area
L2
because the birds are all flying
ラ
around.
グラン
They're
ジ点
very excited.
L2 ラグラン点へ持っていきま
At the
す。
Cape here, you can see the vehicle continuing to vent as normal. The
これ
flare stacks
は
continuing to
ちょっ
flare
と
as
イメ
normal.
ージの絵
We've
だと
got a
思うん
little
で
bit
す
of
けど
heat
も、
haze, but it seems to have improved,
地球があ
Sawyer.
って、
How are visibility
で、ラ
conditions
グラン
from
ジ
your perspective?
L2 点
Because for those just joining us, you're of
で、
course
2
in the
機が
field with us,
待
but
機
you've
しな
kind of
が
got
ら、
you've got the field VIP
タイミン
experience
グを
because
見
you're
計
actually on a
らってる
hotel
んですね。
balcony.
火星に行く。
Yeah, with a direct view of the
タイミングを見
pad, the
計ら
rest
っ
of
て
our
ます。
team is out at Jetty Park,
で、タイミング
dealing with the
来
wind
た
and
ら、
things. It is a little on the breezy side,
地
but
球の
nothing
スイン
obviously
グ
that
スイ
would
ン
be
グバイを
an
利
issue
用
with
し
launch,
て、
considering they are still
火星
proceeding
へ
with the
飛んでい
count.
く。
As you mentioned, there's
そういう
definitely
も
that
ので
heat
す。
haze
そういう
going
計
on
画です。
today, but otherwise, it's relatively warm. It's not excessively hot for Florida. The skies are completely clear with no clouds whatsoever, so we should have
う
a
ん。
spectacular show weather-wise when this lifts
で、
off.
なんかね、ちょっと、
And I think
ちょっと
during
い
that
いの
go
はな
no
いん
go
だけ
poll, we
ど、
had people in chat going go. I mean, chat, I'm
じゃあそ
go.
れを含め
I hope
て、
Alex, are you go? You
今
better
回
be go.
の打ち上げなんですが、
I've been go since last week, man. I'm ready to go. Just do this.
Sawyer,
はい、打ち上
Sawyer,
げ
you
は
better、be go as well.
まあ当然、
Oh, I am very
まあ
go.
0
I am
時、
beyond
0
ready
時、
for go.
キー0
And
で
chat is
ニューグレン打
chat
ち上げ
is
します。
flooded with goes as well. So
まあそ
yeah,
の1分
thank
ぐ
you
らい
very
する
much, chat.
と、マックス9個
Let's
得
go
ます。
and launch this thing. Oh
で、
my
3
goodness,
分ぐらい
nearly
する
10
と、
minutes to go. It
まあ
doesn't get much
メイ
it
ンエン
doesn't
ジン
get
カ
much
ッ
better
トオ
than
フ、
this. Doesn't get much bigger than this
メイ
because
ンエンジン止め
they
て
could
分
land
離
this
します。
thing. They could land this thing. Look at the mission profile. We're going to have
で、
liftoff,
面
ascent
白いの
stage
は、あ、
separation.
ちょうどやってま
Fingers
すね。
crossed. The point where New
飛んで
Glenn
っ
stage
て、
1 went
1段
wrong
目、
on flight
メインエ
1
ンジンカッ
was
トオフ、
that re-ignition of the BE4
で、
for
ジャ
the
クリン
re-entry
に
burn.
着
If
陸し
they
ま
solve
す。
that
これ
problem,
が一つの見ど
they
ころです
could
ね。
actually bring this thing back through the atmosphere
で、
and
セ
land
カン
it
ドステージ
on
はさらに
Jacqueline,
宇宙
their
目
landing
指してい
platform,
っ
which
て、
is stationed about
2機の衛
600
星
odd
を切り
kilometers
離しま
downrange.
す。で、この2機の衛星は、
And we
い
can
き
see
なり
there
火
a
星飛行機
view,
ではなくて、
pre-recorded view of Jacqueline
地球の
on the
L2 ラグ
there
ラン
at
ジ
Port
点へ
Canaveral when they were still
行っ
working on it.
て、
I
ま
mean,
あ
I
半
have to
年から
say,
1年ぐ
I
ら
am
い、ちょっとそこで様子見ます。
actually think Jacqueline looks better than the SpaceX drone ships. I might get
なので
criticized for that
今
on social
回、ニュー
media.
グレ
I
ンの
don't
お仕
care. I
事
think it
は、
looks better. And this is a
2機
view
の
tweeted by
双
Jeff
子を
Bezos, founder of Blue
宇
Origin,
宙で
earlier
切り
this
離して
morning, saying on
無事
station, and
L2
just a
へ
beautiful
行
view
ってくれ
of
と、
the sun rays going
そ
through
こ
the
までが
clouds, early
ブルー
morning
オリジン
out
の
on
ニ
the
ューグレン
Atlantic.
のお仕事です。
Jacqueline
そっから
getting
先
ready
は衛星
to
のお仕事です。
support the return of a booster.
これジャクリンですね。
If you're a booster and you look at that, you just want to land on that thing. You know,
すごい
you want to
ゴッ
land
ドレイ
on
で
that
す
thing.
よ。
Or at least I would if I was a booster. Such a
神
pretty
々
view.
しい。
And fingers crossed we get similar pretty live views at least when it comes to landing this thing. 9 minutes left to go. Suddenly it's game time. Suddenly the heart races a little bit more. Suddenly the breaths get a little bit deeper. But yeah, this is a very exciting mission indeed. Sawyer, I know we're probably approaching the point where you will want to go and do field things, but if you want to give us just a couple minutes of final thoughts here, because yeah, this is a big mission.
Absolutely. I mean, you were talking about the heart
Well,
racing and pounding. Mine's been
なん
doing
て
that
話してる
probably
うちに、
since L-30 minutes.
あと
So it's been
8分、
going for quite a
打
while.
ち上げまであと8分
The
です。
excitement is real. It's palpable here. Again, the beach near me, starting to see more people work their way out to watch this thing. Should put on quite a show here on the Space Coast. And fingers crossed all goes well.
希望
And
のエレベータ
go
ー。
Blue Origin, go New Glenn.
Yeah,
応援して
go
ますね。
launch. I think we all want to see it.
Go
8
New Glenn。
minutes left in the count now.
ゴブオリジン。で、アメリカは、ス
Looks
ペース
like
X
some
もあ
more
って、
people are getting stuff in the
ブ
store
ルーオ
even
リ
at
ジンも
this
いて、
point. I
シエラ
promise
スペースもあって
we would read the support if we could, but it's we've got a rocket to focus on unfortunately right now, so we will postpone reading out the support until
ね、
fingers
いいで
crossed
すよ
this
ね。
rocket is in the air and in space, and the second stage is orbiting the Earth. So that is when we will be doing all of that. But I'm seeing a lot of big support, so we are not ignoring it because we don't want to read it out. We will read it out, I promise. But rather,
回
and a
ね
more appropriate time as we
延期
cross
に
7
延期
minutes
され
and
て
30 seconds to
よ
go
うやくで
for
す
New
よ。
Glen 2 and Escapade. Okay,
エスカペード。
Alex, I'm seeing blue skies, so fingers crossed if you could just give us
あ
a
それから
last
投げ
minute
ラン
quick
時点
report on that
まあ
weather
私の
forecast we got. Everything
この放送を
continuing
見るよう
to
な
look
方はです
good
ね
at this point.
まあ言わなく
Yeah,
ても分かると思うん
everything's
です
still
が
looking good. I have
ラ
not
グラン
heard
時点
anything from
これが太陽だ
from
と
Blue
し
Origin
て
or anything.
ま
They
あ地
don't
球だと
seem
して
to have said anything about
で
weather
太
being a
陽
concern. We
地
heard
球
that pole being
並ぶよう
full.
に
Everything
ラグラン
is
ジ
go.
L2 がありま
So
す
hopefully in less than 3
でこ
minutes
こ
we go
今
through that terminal
ゲ
count
ームセー
gate,
プドがね
and that'll be
こ
the
う回
final
ってま
4
すねこ
minutes
こにい
in
ます
the count,
L2 にいます
getting everything.
L2 って
Like
言って
it just
も
really becomes a very active rocket.
すご
They
いピン
go
ポイントな
through
1点では
pressurization
な
of
く
the
て
tanks.
もの
They
すごい
go
広大
and
な
start the
地球
autopilot
が10個
system
ぐらい入る
on
よ
the
う
rocket
な
as well.
巨大
They
な領
activate
域
the
なんで
water
すよ
deluge. They go into
そ
internal
こ
power.
に
They have a lot of things going on
そ
in
こは割
that
と安定
last
して
4
て
minutes of the
燃
count.
料は
So
毎使わな
hopefully
くても
everything is good to
そ
go
の
for
じ
that.
その中域
Indeed,
ね
and we have got all of the
宇宙に
cameras
その位置
deployed
に
for this
いら
launch.
れ
We
る
have got all the field team out there. You
そ
can
れ以
see
外だ
a
と
small
視点制
number
御の
of
た
the
め
cameras
に
we have deployed, but we have
も
the
う噴射
robots,
しな
we
くちゃ
have
い
the
けないんで
drones,
すけ
we have
ど
the
それ
tracking
が
cameras
な
on
る
the
べく
Jessie.
少
We
ない
have literally every
それ
single
が
asset out for
L1、
this launch right
L2、
now to bring you
L3、
all the views
L4、
possible
L5
as
こ
this
の
thing
5
lifts
つの
off
点です
and
ね
heads downrange. 6 minutes to go
で
until
今
the
回は
launch of New
L2 へ
Glenn 2.
2
And
機
yeah,
を投
things
入
are
するっ
getting
ていう
very, very
話で
real
す
at this point. We can see the clear views over the water, way better conditions than we had on Sunday, and fingers crossed the solar conditions are way better than they were yesterday. Because of course, if you're just joining us, you got that T-10 minute notification on next space flight, and you're just joining the stream.
広大
We
な領
had
域
that
なの
first launch
で
attempt on Sunday, which had
ジェームスウェッブ
clouds,
宇宙望
rain,
遠鏡はすで
a
にい
cruise
るん
ship
で
in
す
the
けど
range, and
も
some GSE issues. We
ぶ
had
つ
the
かる
launch
と
attempt
か
yesterday, which had that
そういう
coronal mass
心配
ejection and
は不
solar
要
storm
です
from the sun. I mean, literally, this launch has had absolutely everything thrown at it. But finally, on attempt 2/3, depending how you count it, we are vertical. We are T-5 minutes. On Thursday, the weather is clear, the winds are relatively calm, and it looks like the sun has calmed down, allowing for this launch. So 5 minutes, we are 1 minute away from terminal count starting. So we will wait to see if Blue Origin says anything, and if we get interrupted, then that is a good interruption. You can see there, Launch Complex 36. And the beautiful shores of Cape Canaveral with the blue water of the Atlantic Ocean in this part of the world, which is something I do envy a little bit. Okay, and we are now 4.5 minutes to go. Still standing by for any confirmation, verbal confirmation from Blue Origin. If we get anything, we'll of course bring it to you, but again, this is a relatively new vehicle. These procedures are relatively new, so we're not kind of in tune like we would be for, say, the 500th launch of a Falcon 9. Slightly different ball game, but we are now 10 seconds away from that terminal count beginning. We'll wait to see if we hear anything. Yeah, these bits are always a bit awkward because we're sat here with nothing to talk about.
There should
and
be a
we're
poll
waiting.
coming up.
Yeah, we're waiting for official confirmation. Here we go.
AFSA saving timer started.
AFSS saving timer started.
おお
Sounds like someone's vacuum cleaning mission
待って
control.
あと3分だ
Probably preparing for activation of the pressurization systems, maybe. Clock is still rolling, so things are progressing.
Just look at this beautiful booster. 3 minutes to
ニュ
go.
ーグレン
We are
これ
in
でね
terminal count.
寝てたの、まあ、ベッドで
Thank you very much,
Good.
Blue Origin.
こう寝て
They're
た
in
の
terminal
を
count. That's the
ジャ
news
威
we
圧
wanted
ジ
to
ャッキ
hear.
で
Those people look
ゴ
rather
ーンって
happy on
持
the
ち上げるんですよね
beach. On Cocoa Beach, looking on towards Launch Complex 36. You can see Alex some final venting
だか
there
らこの
from New
この
Glenn
ベ
Stage
ッド
2
のま
and
ま
Stage
で
1
ここ
and
ま
the strong
で
back. This is all
立ち上
beautiful
がるん
stuff
で
that
す
we
ね
want to see.
で
2
燃料は
minutes,
ここから
40
もらっ
seconds
て
to go.
る
Yeah, those vents should turn off and prepare for pressurizing the tanks ahead of flight. Those tanks will come up to flight pressure. They're going to be preparing for the switching of the vehicle to internal power, hopefully in about a minute from now. And then a minute later, the water deluge will turn on. We're gonna get that takeover of the count from the rocket. So yeah, last few minutes, just 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go. People are
Very
Happy.
happy, very
Very
happy in
happy, very
mission control.
Yeah.
Blue Origin's facilities
来た、
there.
すごいことになってる。
They
Yeah,
have, of course,
and-
got facilities
あ
all
あ、
around the
私に見
country.
えないか。
And one other note, the discrepancy in the clocks is not that our
すごい。
clock is wrong. Ours is running to
大換
real
気。
time. You're seeing their feed delayed by a few seconds. That is why these are real live views, as you can see there from our feed. This is from Jerry's drone view. Outside of all of the TFRs and everything, it's in a good area to put this. So just 98 seconds to go, and boy, my heart is
Damn.
racing. So yeah.
Sounds like we've got the field microphones turned on as well. 90 seconds to go until
Christmas,
the opening
Ramon.
of the window. Blue Origin
Shut up.
confirmed.
Call
New
it a
Glenn
key.
2 is in terminal count. The vehicle will be taking control in just about 45 seconds time.
Rocket on
The
internal
vehicle should-
power.
Yep, the vehicle is now on internal power. And the next thing to note will be the water deluge system turning on at T-minus 30 seconds.
あと1分ですよ。
So that is the next event we will see, because Alex, they actually run that deluge system
あと
under
数分
1
で
minute
行き
now
ますの
for
で、
quite some time.
行
They
きた
run
い
it
で
for
す。
30 seconds.
Yeah, they like to keep it on for a little while to be able to run it. But yeah, that's one of the things as well that I'm seeing. The tank vents are off,
なんてこと
so it
だ。
means they are pressurizing the tanks for flight. Everything is getting ready for that launch, hopefully in 40 seconds from now.
Standing by for that 30-second gate, which is when we should see the deluge system
Oh,
starting up
もう30
and
秒。
autopilot being enabled on new. Remember, the Blue Origin feed is a little bit delayed,
NG-2.
but we should be seeing the deluge spooling up. Under 20 seconds to go. And I can confirm that deluge has been spooling up 5 seconds from engine ignition of the 7BE4s.
Looks like we have a hold.
音が来ました。
All right, as we've seen here, our team has decided to go
T-minus
into a
20
hold at
seconds
T-minus
is
20
when the hold
seconds.
Yep, so we are in a hold as it
あ、ホール
stands.
ド、ホールド
And
来
we will
た。
stand by for a new T0 time from Blue Origin. Remember, they have a big window, 90-odd minute window,
Auto safing complete.
which they can launch in.
みんななん
So
か
just
す
a
ご
little
い
bit
キーボード打ってる。
of a
でもこの後ちゃんと打ち上がりますからね。
Yeah, plenty of time.
Gallons of water in the tank itself,
Oh.
and another 250,000
30
in
分か
the
ら。
fact. Ryan
もう
Weber,
ホール
who
ド
you
か
may
ら
On the first flight, they also had this issue with
と
the
りあえず
engine
復帰して
on the booster.
もうカウントダウン始めてますよ。あ、
You
また
also-
ホールドだ。
Don't fret,
Fun.
we have the drone views from
Fantastic.
Jerry Pike. Jerry Pike is going to save the day. 1 minute to go until the launch
1 minute to
of
go.
New Glenn 2. 30 seconds away from the water deluge and the autopilot being enabled on Glenn Stage 1. 50 seconds left to run in the count.
Through 1 minute, still going. Flight termination system has been enabled. Range is green.
That's what we want to
Ato,
hear.
do
Nothing
that.
in the way this time around. We are approaching 30 seconds. Keep an eye out at the base of the vehicle because that is where we'll start to see that water deluge system splash up. That runs for the 30 seconds before T0. Expect engine ignition at
SpaceX
T-minus
とは
5
違って、
seconds. So we should see
じっ
that
く
water
り
deluge
しっかり
spooling
作っ
up
て、
any
で、一
second.
つずつ確
And
実に
it
打
is
ち上げる
spooling。up now
そういう
as
スタイル
I
を
speak.
とっています
15
ので、
seconds left to run in the count.
まあ、ここまで来たら
We
ちゃ
can
ん
see
と打
it
ち上が
from
る。
Jerry's drone. Very,
途中で爆
very
発
big
とか
water
は
deluge
ほ
system.
ぼないと思ってま
Stand
す
by
よ
for。the ignition of the 7BE4s.
3、2、
Here we go.
Each.
We've got ignition
どうです
and
か？
retraction and liftoff. New Glenn 2
リフト
is off and away. Escapade is headed to Mars.
エスカペードを火星を目指すって言ってましたね。
New Glenn has cleared the tower.
やった。
The cruise ships are happy. We're pitching down range. Let's listen in for the roar
Master.
of those 7BE4 Methalocks.
ビ
Beauties.
ーホあ、ビューティーって言ってる。メタンの燃料なんで、スペース X と まあ、スーパーヘビーと同じ色ですね。スーパーヘビーと同じ燃料で飛んでいますので、やっぱり色合いが同じだし、この飛ぶ方もかなり似てますね。このバチバチいうエンジンといい、この箱音といいね。象徴的な、まあ、紫色の炎を上げながら飛んでいきますよ。
Those 7 Methalox engines are absolutely spectacular as New Glenn pitches down range and is approaching max Q in approximately 10 seconds. This ginormous rocket delivering 2 satellites for NASA. Oh my goodness, the vapor is now forming as we approach supersonic speeds through max Q right now.
音速超えましたよ。
We've had good callouts from Blue Origin, all 7 engines performing as expected.
この音してるっていうことは音速は超えてますよね。
Is a 98-meter tall New Glenn continuing to pitch down range. And that was a spectacular ascent. We should see main engine cut off in 1 minute from now. That was incredible.
1分後にメインエンジンカットオフ。
It's so cool seeing this in daylight, man. Compared to
左上
nighttime.
に時計がしていますので、3分ぐらいめどに切り離しを行いますよ。
It is equally spectacular in the
ここから見え
nighttime
ます
as
ね。
it is in the day, and those 7 BE4s continue to burn 30 seconds now from main engine cutoff. We should expect
今回のエンジンの名前は
of those main
BE4
engines to
っていう名前のエンジンですね。
the separation 4 seconds later of the
ずっと
stages, and then the
BE4 に
ignition
火が入っ
of the
て、そのまま
BE3Us on
宇
the
宙
second
船を
stage at
持
T
ち上げ
plus
てい
3
ます
minutes and
持ち上げ
17
て
seconds
ま
into
すよ。
flight. So main engine cutoff coming up in 10 seconds time. We are continuing to track the
あと
vehicle
10秒以
as
内に
it
来るっ
heads
て。
down range. Expect to see those engines cut off any
メインエンジン
second
カットオフ。
now.
さあ、来た来た。
That looked like
There's-
Nico.
Yep, there's Miko. And we should be able to track stage separation
Yeah,
from
let's
the
give us a-
ground. There goes the booster. There goes Glenn Stage 2. They are separate objects in the sky. And the booster
分離。
appears to be
空
flipping
中で分
now.
離する。あ、
And
し
we've
た。
had good ignition on the BE3Us. Glenn Stage 2 headed to orbit.
Wow.
多分分離した。
Continuing to track these 2 separate objects. Cruise ships again very happy in the background with their horns. And we can see the venting there from the booster. Onboard views from Glenn Stage
あ、綺麗
2.
ですね。
That's cool. Look at
すご
that.
い。雲は
4
Should be
minutes
coming up
into
on fairing
flight.
separation
子
as
羊の
well.
ようだ。
Yeah, fingers crossed we can see those separate. Maybe we'll even see it separate from the ground. Who knows? We'll just have to see how clear the skies are today. But that should occur at T plus 3 minutes and 50 seconds, about 20 seconds ago.
And
す
they've
ごい雲に
separated
生えて見えます
here.
よ。あれ落ちてきてるんですね。地球に向かって。
I
Wow.
believe that,
Has-
yeah, I believe
has
this is the
such a-
booster we are tracking, but that is
逆に
confirmation of fairing
ドローン船に
jettison
向か
on
って
the
落ちてって
second
ますよ。
stage. So everything performing as expected with Glenn Stage 2 and the 2 Escapade spacecraft, which are currently on their way to their parking orbit. Seco 1 will be T plus 12 minutes 53 seconds, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, though, we're going to keep an eye
It's
on the booster.
quite. Yeah, we're still seeing the booster. Even though it's heading down range, it's out there. It's orienting itself for the entry. Still 79 miles in altitude.
This is almost what you'd expect for an RTLS. I mean, this isn't coming back to the launch site. This is landing on a platform 600 kilometers down range,
think-
yet our assets at the Cape can still see it.
I think the reason is because it's so big. Even though it's going out there down range, it's still visible.
And we should be seeing the entry burn igniting at T plus 6
Entry
minutes and
burn.
48 seconds, so about a minute and a half away from the re-entry burn. This is the critical step in the flight. This is where New Glenn 1 couldn't get it done. They couldn't relight the BE4s. This is where everything could change for New Glenn. Again, on board with Glenn Stage 2, the twin BE3U engines continuing to burn Escapade into low Earth orbit. The booster, however, we are expecting standing by for the reignition, which is where they went wrong on New Glenn 1. Fingers crossed they sorted it out and got it fixed for New Glenn 2.
It is past apogee, it's now coming back down on its trajectory. And a reminder, the landing will occur about 600 kilometers downrange. That it's very similar to a booster landing from Falcon 9, for example. So we're still tracking this, and I think it is just because it's huge. That's probably the only reason we're still tracking this.
センサーがないので、
Indeed, we are 30 seconds
カメ
away
ラの
from the
雰囲気か
entry
ら
burn.
しか
Sawyer, very briefly,
ちょっと
we
情報
have
が
you
得られ
back
ないん
with
で
us.
す
How was
が、
that launch from your perspective?
地上に向かって
Unbelievable.
ど
I'm
ん
on a
どん近
hotel
づいてます
balcony.
ね
The。window and the doors were rattling and shaking like crazy. That is quite a deep rumble to it. The base spectacular, the colors amazing, especially as it started to get higher up into the atmosphere. To see it looked almost pure white from the blue of those BE4 engines. Unreal.
Under 10 seconds away now from the entry burn. Stand by for the reignition. Will they do it? It looks like we've got a little bit of a vapor cone forming there almost. Stand by for the reignition. How we still have visual of this is beyond my brain. Stand by. We should be seeing it momentarily. There we go. 3 BE4s reignited on the booster. They've done it. The re-entry burn is firing. They're fighting fire with fire and slowing down to protect itself from the aerodynamic forces of re-entry. Look at that entry burn go.
It's the same thing that we see with the Falcon entry burn, right? The line, it's sort of perpendicular to the one of the engines. Look at that.
すごいです
And
ね。
everyone at the Cape is losing their mind, and
望遠
rightly
でここ
so.
ま
We
で
now have
見え
the
るなんて。
shutdown, the
Wow.
planned shutdown of those BE4 engines. Landing burn coming up in 50 seconds time. Now this is where things are about to get very, very exciting indeed. Somehow we are still tracking this booster from Blue Origin as it heads down range. We are now a minute away from landing on Jacqueline. New Glenn could become the second orbital class launch vehicle to propulsively land its booster back on Earth, and we are less than a minute away from that potentially becoming a reality.
噴射するんですけど、それは
Look at this
最後の
thing
最後
come
で
back
す
through
ね。
the atmosphere. The Comet thermal protection system is glowing 30, less than 10 seconds away now from that landing burn igniting.
この規模の
Come on,
ブー
let's
スター
My
が
heart is absolutely
ドローン
racing.
戦
Come
着
on,
陸する
landing
ってい
burn.
う
You've
の
got
は
this,
初
New
めてですよ
Glenn.
ね。
Let's
Through
go.
the clouds.
SpaceX も参考になるんじゃないでしょうか。
Standing by for reignition. There's the reignition of the BE4
逆噴
engines.
射。
Oh my goodness. It's coming back through the clouds. Through the clouds.
雲の中に入って、
Let's see if we can go on board with Jacqueline.
でさら
On
に
board
噴
with
射
the
して、
booster.
この下に
Where's
逆にいます
Jacqueline?
よ。逆に。
There's the ocean.
あ、来た。
Oh, there's
見
the
えた。
landing legs.
見えてない
But。where is Jacqueline? There it is. There is Jacqueline.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like we're slightly off target. It looks like we're slightly off target. And it looks like we have gotten a splashdown of New Glenn 2.
No,
Or is it on the
no,
deck? It was
not
hovering.
it.
It's on the deck. They've done it. Blue Origin have done it. Oh my goodness.
いやーいや
On the second attempt, on the second time of
素晴らし
asking,
い。
Blue Origin,
これは素晴らしいですよ。
New Glenn is on the deck of
すごい
Jacqueline.
大興奮。いやこれは
that
ね
was surreal.
素晴
That
らしいんで
was
す
such a
よ。
weird landing
この大
burn,
き
but
な
it worked.
They absolutely
第一弾を
nailed it.
回収
Very
できたっ
reminiscent of
て
what
す
they
ごい
did
話
with
ですよ。
New Shepard, where it kind of goes off center a little bit, corrects itself,
で
and
しかも
touches
2回目
down.
ですよ。2
And
回
well,
目の打ち上げで成
there's
功。
a splashdown, but wow.
It looked
Ah,
off center.
yappa.
They basically did a New Shepard landing, but at an
これは嬉しいよ
enormous
ね。
scale on Jacqueline.
この
And New Glenn
もう
Stage 1
かなり
is
大きい
vertical on
第
the
一弾
drone ship.
こうキャッチ
They've
できましたよ。
only gone and done
船で
it.
That was cool, man. That is so cool.
ね、足とかも
We
ね、
now
考え
live
ら
in
れ
an
てますよ
age
ね。
where two organizations can
多分本当
propulsively
ね、
land an orbital class rocket booster. We have
もう
two
大きければ大きいほど、足
partially
は大きければ大きいほ
reusable
ど安定すると
orbital
思うんです
class
けど、
launch
で
vehicles
ギリギリ小さく作った
active
んですよね。
online from the Cape.
これ以
Oh
上小
my
さくしたら
goodness,
倒れ
things
ちゃう
can
よ
only get better from
ってい
here.
う、多分そのギリギリ狙
I
って作
cannot
ってます
believe
よ。
what I have just seen on this live stream right now.
By the way, they just
Oh
said
my
GS2
goodness
trajectory
gracious.
continues
だ
to
か
be
らこの
normal.
簡素な足なんですね。
Yep.
結構車体は
We should
重
not
いと
forget
思うん
about
ですよ。
Glen Stage 2, of course. Thank you,
それを
Sawyer.
That's
At
good.
T plus
Absolutely.
6
At T
個の
plus
足
12
で、
minutes and 53 seconds,
今
that is when we
きち
will
んと
see
自立させ
Seco
る。
1 of the
でそこに意味がありま
BE3
す
use.
ね。
So keep an eye on the right-hand
それ
picture
をドローン
because
戦
that
で
is
キ
the
ャッチ
second stage continuing
や
to
りました。
burn through 12,500
remaining.
miles an hour.
さ
Per
す
the
が
call
にね、
out, 2 minutes
まあ、晴れ
remaining
の
on the
穏やかな日を、
GS2 Glen Stage
ね、
2.
やります
Wow.
よ。雷の日はさすがに、これは無理だや。
I'm
と
going to need a
思い
few
ま
deep
す。
breaths after that.
That was
ちなみに
visually
フ
one
ロ
of the most
リダは
exciting
雷
launches
が
in a
青いの
long
で
time.
有
Again,
名
it's
です
weird
ね。
because you see the orangish flame at the beginning, and then as it goes up, but then it looks like the flame disappears.
なので、1
Also
回目
now
の打ち上
starting
げ
to see the
は、
sort of noctilucent
天候
cloud
で中止だったん
effect
です
from
ね。
where right after it passed through Max Q, and you see that kind of trail coming behind it in the sky. Absolutely beautiful views still, even though the rocket is, at least the stage 1 is landed.
Alex,
One minute
yeah,
remaining.
I don't want to take anything away from this booster, but it does appear a
No,
little
of
bit close
course.
to the deck.
ちなみに、ブルーオ
Oh
リジン
yeah,
の場合、
yeah.
2段目
I
は
don't know if it's
使い
because
捨て
of
で
a
すね。
different landing leg design or whatever. I was just trying to look at the details of like what we're seeing. It's so different, of course, from Falcon 9 and everything. So it might just be part of the design. As I said, you know, we are not very familiar with this new booster, so we'll just get used to it, I guess.
Look, we're getting a replay, an
We're getting
instant
a replay.
replay of the landing from Blue Origin. Look
Wow,
at
look
this
at
thing
that.
slide over and center itself on the deck under the power of a single center BE4 engine and touchdown. That was 4 minutes ago, roughly, on the deck of Jacqueline. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. This
Incredible.
is a Falcon 9-like landing at the scale of Starship. That was
Haven't even
just
gotten to those yet.
incredible. And we should
Enjoying
focus
these.
now because we have Seco coming up.
That's a picture from, well, first was Ryan Weber, then Sawyer, and I just heard second engine cut off. They are in orbit.
3エンジンカットオフ。
Once
Did
again,
it.
Fantastic.
They've only gone and done it.
Yeah.
あ
I,
よかったですね。
this is huge. This is two partially
その
reusable
打ち上げ
orbital
で、
class launch vehicles
たった3
capable
分
of
で、
delivering payloads to orbit.
この1段目のお仕事が終了ですよ。
We are
重
living
要
in the
だけど
future
短い
right now.
まあ短いけど、
So about those
重
launch
要な
dates, they might be sooner.
非常に重要なお仕事を
And
3
if
分
they
で終わ
bring
ら
this
せて、
thing back and they are capable of
まあ地上
and
に
they
戻ってきた
reuse the first booster they've landed.
全
I
体
mean,
で
the launch rates for
13
New
分。
Glenn. If you like big rockets, there's plenty more big rockets coming next year, ladies and gentlemen.
大興奮。
Blue Origin very happy, of course, as they rightly deserve to be.
they should. Yeah, they should be very, very happy.
They
No
deserve
other,
every bit of credit.
no other launch vehicle in the history of the world, okay? No other
他に
launch
やったこと
vehicle
がないに
has
なってるだ
landed。its first stage booster on the second flight. The second flight. It took Starship 5
フライトに使う
flights.
と
Alex, I'm sure
言って
you'll
ま
have the
す。
number for Falcon 9.
Well, Falcon 9 had many splashdown attempts and whatnot. The first landing was on
みんな
its
そうお祝いして
third
る。
landing attempt, but it was its 20th flight. So it's a bit of a messy way of calibrating it, but yeah.
SpaceX has been making this look trivial.
GS2
でもようやく飛んでよかったです
It's
ね。
not easy.
もうハラハラしましたよ。
SpaceX have been making this look trivial for the last 10 years now, but trust me, this is anything
で、この
but. This
今使っ
is
た D4 エンジンなんですけども、
unbelievable what Blue Origin have just
同
done.
じくアメリカ
And a
の宇
live
宙
track
企
on
業
the right-hand side of stage 2
Yeah.
as it continues
Space launch
on its orbital trajectory
アライアンス
under 10 minutes until
裏
the second stage ignites to perform its burn before deploying the
裏の
Escapade
エンジンにな
spacecraft.
りますよ。
Yes, we do.
Oh, there we go. On the left.
Separation.
It's missing now. It's not there.
Escapade Blue is on its way. and Escapade Gold,
Blue.
its sibling
Blue
satellite,
to
should be
gold
joining
no.
it in under 10 seconds.
9秒で切り離し。
So we should see it. If the views hold, we should see it pop off the payload adapter.
Let's see if the
Bit of a
feed.
wider view.
ゴールドはず
It looks like we have mission control confirmation. Just waiting if we have a
Yep.
view. Yes, there
there
it
we go.
goes. Live
it is.
views. Both payloads have separated. I mean, that is just ticking
Separate.
off every single box on the
こんなに早
checklist.
くセパレートするん
Successful
だ
launch, successful landing, successful orbital insertion, successful relight on both
Whoa,
stages. There's the
it's
roaming
there.
vehicle. It's coming out. No, go back. Blue, go back, go back.
Yeah, go back. We want to see
Yes,
the little
no.
thing.
Oh, come
Oh,
on, Blue. Show us, Blue. Show us. Anyways, as I was saying, successful launch, successful landing, successful relights on both stages, successful
There
orbital
we go.
insertion. Yes, Blue.
Blue,見せてくれって
Successful
言ってた。
deployment of 2 payload primary and secondary
Blue
goals
to
achieved.
gold.
This is,
も
I
ち
mean,
ろん
absolutely
look at the
knocking
little
it
fellow
out of the
there.
park.
多分同
It's like, no,
じ
you're going
衛
the
星
wrong
な
way
んで
now.
す
Where
ね
are。you going? The booster's on the left. He's going to drive off the edge in a second.
I think it's going around the
で
other
ブル
side
ーと
because the
ゴ
quick
ー
disconnect
ルド
umbilical
は
might
そ
be
れぞ
on
れ
the
エン
other
ジン
side.
乗ってて、でそれで
This is,
L2 ま
this
で
is so
自力
cute
で
and
行き
so
ます。
amusing at the same time. Well, you've got to turn left, mate. Where are you off to? I think he's got lost.
It's going around. Let it do the thing.
There we go.
See? There
Oh
you
my
go.
god, it's so cute. And you can see the sun
美
now
しい
setting
景色になってます。夕
over
方で
Cape
すね。
Canaveral.
ケープカナベラル
Still some people
I think it's
36
the
番
circle
発
of
射台。
life.
Yeah. Yeah. If you were wondering why
綺麗
we've
ですね。
lost some views, that's not because everyone has gotten bored and has gone home. That's actually because there is remote
観光で
camera
この辺
pickup coming
行ってみ
up
たい
for
で
our
す
field
ね。
team. So, Max D, Julia have all
ま
set
あ、お
cameras.
疲れ様で
Thanks
したモー
to
ドで
Blue
す
Origin,
ね。
allow them to set cameras
多
closer to the
分、
launch
まあ、我
pad
々
inside
が
the blast
見え
danger
るの
area.
はこ
So
の辺
they've
くら
had
い
to
まで
go
で
off
しょう
to that
か。
scheduled pickup time. So keep an eye on
まあ、
the
ブルーとゴールドも
socials.
分離した
Keep
よう
an
で
eye
すし。
on not only the NSF socials, but their personal socials. Follow them. Keep an
じ
eye
ゃあ、
on the shop
このくらいに
because
しと
if
き
we
ま
get
しょう
any
か。
corkers from the
それ
remotes,
では、
I can imagine
なな
there'll
み
be
でし
prints as well.
た。
So keep an eye out for
バイバイ。
those at shop.nasaspaceflight.com because again.